Hey, it's another day. Todd, that means it's another episode of your Daily Scrum, the YouTube show designed to help you get a little bit better with Scrum, answering your questions and hopefully giving some good ideas back. With me, well, who am I? I'm Ryan Ripley, professional Scrum trainer with Scrum.org. This guy over there is Mr. Todd Miller.
Todd Space Miller. You're at Ryan Ripley, all one word.
Yeah, that's the Twitter handle. Speaking of which, we still have to get you a better Twitter handle, right?
I'm collecting. So at this point, I have collected everybody's feedback. Keep sending it. And I think what we'll do is we will open up a poll.
There we go.
Yeah.
Let the community decide. And I think it's going to be Twitter McTwitterface is what they end up picking, right? At Twitter McTwitterface will be Todd's. All right. In all seriousness, let's jump to it. People like it if we're talking about the question within a minute or so. So here it is, Todd. Is it an increment if we don't release it?
Yes.
Yeah, I would say emphatically yes. But this is a big, I've actually run into this in my, do you mind if I tell a quick story?
No, tell us your story, Ryan.
I was working with, I love this company, right? They're actually a very, very good company here in the Midwest. Great culture, love working with them. I think they bring a lot of the Scrum values forward. And one of the people there who I highly, highly respect, he decided to run an experiment where what would happen if, from an organizational level, if we make release to production part of the definition of done, right? What would that do behaviorally? What would that do culturally? And it led to a massive uproar. Right. The Scrum teams were just really just adamant that we can't just require this, that it's the product owner's decision, that it may not make sense to release an increment without a few other increments built. And they decided to still go forward with this experiment. And what it led to a few positives and a few negatives. Right. A few positives was that they really got good at breaking things that were releasable down into, the size of a sprint. So they got really good at right sizing for a sprint, which was that's a great behavior. That's a good outcome of that experiment. One of the negatives is that they would ship things regardless of timing in the market. They would put things in production, whether or not it made sense to. They really pulled away that product owner's ability to make the call. Overall, I think it caused a lot more angst than it did help, with the teams. But I have to admit, it did lead to at least one positive in the right sizing. What do you think about that?
Yeah, something that you said stuck out to me there is you said timing in the market, right?
Yep.
So timing in the market is part of product management, right? And trying to figure out what to do. And so our accountability product owner is that of an agile product manager, right? That's what your duties are, to figure out the right time to market. And therefore, in Scrum, the product owner really decides when to release. Now, there's some caveats to that. We can talk when we should go down the quality path, but Scrum requires that it's ready to be released. Scrum does not require that it's released. The one thing I've always universally said when I've been a product owner is I want a button. Remember those easy buttons?
Yeah.
I want
that was easy.
Yeah. Yes. Just like you did a really good job of that. But I want a button that I could set up at any given time. If someone calls me over and says, check out this PBI where, we just got finished testing it. I want a button that says, ship that.
Yep.
I want to ship that now. And that's not at the end of a sprint. That's anytime. That's an ask. I want you to be technical and have so much quality built into the software, into your patterns and the way that you're building things into the solution, and so much automation that's there that if we hit that button to ship whenever we want, anytime during a sprint, or anytime 3 sprints in when the time to market makes sense. So that's really kind of where I stand on this one, Ryan.
Yeah. So to answer the question that came in from one of our listeners, the answer is yes, emphatically yes. It is an increment even if we don't release it. Right? Scrum calls for an increment to be usable, potentially releasable, giving the product owner an option to be opportunistic in the marketplace. So yes, it's an increment if we don't release it. Now, do Todd and I prefer frequent releases of increments as soon as responsibly possible? Absolutely. Should the release be dictated arbitrarily by a definition of done?
Yeah.
Maybe that's the subject for a new episode or for a new video.
Could be. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in the next one. But I think this is a good spot for us to stop here, Todd. I think we've answered it cleanly.
Yep.
The answer is an emphatic yes. It is still an increment. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us on today's episode of Your Daily Scrum. We love having you here. Be sure to check out the socials. We put a lot of content out there for you. Hit that like and subscribe button. What do we say about that like and subscribe, Todd?
Hulk smash it.
Hulk smash it. We added some videos down here below. Hopefully some of these other videos help you out as well. But be sure to like and subscribe. Let us know what you think. Leave us a comment. What do you think about the increment? And leave your questions in the comments as well. And perhaps, who knows, it could turn into a future video and an episode of Your Daily Scrum. Thanks, everybody. Go forward. Have a great day.